Hey, podcasters. This episode is coming at you live from the 2024 Farm Science Review at Ask the Expert. In this episode, we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence with Christopher Dean. Like always, if you liked the episode, be sure to like and subscribe. With that, we'll jump right into the episode.
Welcome to the Agronomy and Farm Management Podcast. I'm Bruce.
And I'm Josh, and we're your farm management hosts. Let's get started.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Ask the Expert here at the 2024 Farm Science Review. My name is Josh Winters, and I'll be moderating this session. So this session, we're going to be talking a little bit about will artificial intelligence mean smart farming with Christopher Dean. So Christopher Dean is a research associate currently pursuing a PhD at The Ohio State University in the College of Food, Agricultural, and Biological Engineering under the mentorship of Dr. Scott Shearer. A 2018 graduate of Clemson University with a degree in mechanical engineering, Christopher has developed an interest in artificial intelligence, vision systems, data analysis, data management, automation for agricultural machinery, soil compaction, soil management, and remote sensing. His work focuses on leveraging advanced technologies to enhance agricultural efficiency and sustainability while contributing valuable insights and innovations to the field. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and we'll jump right in. So explain to me a little bit about what artificial intelligence is and what's it mean to be, the artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so AI is what we usually call it. AI to some people might mean artificial insemination. We're usually talking about artificial intelligence. So currently it's being used just about everywhere, anywhere there's technology. You'll see it on your phone, Face ID. You'll see it online. You'll see it on your email. It gives you next word recognition, word recommendations, ChatGPT, if anyone's used that. It's a big thing nowadays. So you'll basically see AI being used everywhere nowadays.
Yeah, so it seems like it's a common thing that's popping up a little bit everywhere. Like you said, ChatGPT, that's the one that pops into my mind whenever we're thinking about AI. But what about using it for agriculture? What's being done with AI in the agricultural space?
So a lot's being done there as well. So a couple of big things, John Deere, if you've been across the road, you'll see a See and Spray. That's artificial intelligence, and they're using that to protect green on green weeds and a crop canopy. But you'll also see autonomous equipment that's using for path planning, autonomous, no operator in the cab driving. You'll see that across the road as well. And then a lot of the stuff with drones, path planning there as well, autonomous weed detection, and just overall crop protection, see how healthy your crop is.
So what is driving the big initiative for AI? Why is it being deployed so out and about for the agricultural space?
Yeah, so I'd say there's three things probably. One, we have the technology. So there's software side, there's hardware, and then we also have the capability to store the data. So one thing that AI models need lots of data. So if anyone's seen Amazon, Google, they all have these big warehouses that they're putting up to be able to store data. We can store a lot of data to be able to train these models, but I guess the data and the models. And then we have the capability to create models that are able to make a prediction. If you're given an image, it's able to tell you what is in that image. That's what a model is. And then we also have the capability, if anyone's heard of NVIDIA, they make GPUs. So if you don't know who NVIDIA is, they're one of the biggest companies in the world right now, based off their earnings and the stock market. But they make a GPU. So if you don't know what that is, it is a card that is able to process images. So if you play video games, that's what runs your processing, gives you good graphics, allows that to be processed very fast.
So looking at AI, this is kind of a follow-up question to that. Looking at it on an economical side, why is businesses trying to do this research to try to push this AI initiative?
It's going to make it easier on farmers. It's going to make your life easier for one, but it's also going to allow you to grow your profit share. It's going to decrease chemical. So John Deere claims they can reduce the amount of chemical you need to spray in your field by 90% just by spraying weeds. So it's going to reduce the amount of inputs you need. It's going to be more healthy for the environment. It's going to also reduce the amount of chemical you have to buy. So
Perfect. So now we're going to switch over to a little bit about databases in ag. So what are the special databases that are needed for agriculture?
So generally when we talk about AI, ChatGPT, they have general databases that cover everything. If you give these models information such as a field with a bunch of weeds in it, it's going to do a lot better on predicting what is in that field. So you want to give these models exactly what you're going to be seeing in the field. So you need to create databases that represent what you want to see. So that's a lot of work on the backside. You have to label every single image. You have to do a lot of work to actually get the model to be able to process that.
Now, Chris, this next question, I'm not sure what this means. It says, what are CNN and why does it matter? We're not talking about the TV network, are we?
We're not talking about a TV network. A CNN is the foundational tool that models are created off of. So it stands for convolutional neural network. And that allows these systems to identify what is in an image. So given an image of a weed, is able to detect the outline of it is the thing that basically filters and tells your computer what is in that image. That is the foundational tool that is used for these systems.
So when talking about pre-training these AI models, how can we pre-train these models and use them in agriculture?
So one of the benefits is you don't have to go and create a brand new system every time you collect a new database. A pre-trained model basically takes something that's out there and takes images that you want to put in and gives it new information so that these can go back to the field a lot faster. And that something like the John Deere See and Spray can say you use it for weeds now, but you want to use it to spray for pests. You can put images in with pests and the diseases and the effects that it's going to have, and you're going to be able to get back to the field a lot faster. These typically, if you're going to train a model from scratch and create everything from it, it's going to take weeks to months. But if you're just retraining and retraining a pre-training model, it'll be a couple days. So it just allows you to get back to the field a lot faster.
So you're currently in your PhD program under Dr. Scott Shearer at The Ohio State University. What specifically is going on at Ohio State related to artificial intelligence?
So I'll reference something that we work alongside is Icicle. They are a group that does a lot of the research on the computer science side, but they work alongside basically everybody. And they are, I guess, allow us to actually access these models and be able to, I guess, work a lot faster. I'm not a computer scientist, so I can't say I can do the work, but it's not going to be fast. They allow us to get to the field a lot faster. I can collect the data and give them the data to be able to, I guess, make these models and then go back to the field and use them like John Deere does. Another thing we're doing is while John Deere has some great systems, it's not always going to be applicable for what's going on in Ohio. We might see different diseases, we might see different problems. So we're looking at making systems that are going to be applicable for Ohio farmers. We just want to take what John Deere has and say, this is great. We want to be able to say we're having a problem with cyst nematode. I know that's a big issue with soybeans. We're able to look into that more closely and go based off of the experts in our area. We have a lot of really good people in agronomics, and we want to go off what they reference as the thing to do. So that's one of the main goals.
So I seen a video coming out of the department that we were talking about just before we started today. I seen a video where I saw a tractor, and usually when you see a tractor, you see someone driving the tractor, but there was no one on this tractor driving it. Can you elaborate kind of what's going on there?
Yeah, so this is part of the vision systems that I look into. So that's one of the main things is you can give your tractor currently the high-tech tractors a path, and it can do the end row turns, it can do everything you need it to. But the problem with that is a lot of times if there's something that comes in the way, person. Maybe something else that's you just need to stop. These systems, these vision systems are meant to stop the tractor even if somebody's not on it. So that's probably the biggest aspect of a self-driving tractor is be able to stop it if something's going wrong.
So we've seen, in my lifetime, we've seen where the iPhone came out. The iPhone just kind of revolutionized our whole thought process of having a cell phone. And it just kind of happened so quick. I kind of see the connection between having that iPhone, that technology to AI now. So what are some opportunities that AI have coming up, whether that's in agriculture or just AI as a whole?
So I definitely mentioned some of them. So I've been referencing the See and Spray system a lot. There are 24 other companies who are doing the same thing. And looking into that as research, so it's definitely a big topic right now to be able to reduce spray. But then there are other things, like you had mentioned, the self-driving tractors, autonomous equipment. I know farmers always need more help, and there's not a problem if you can get some of that equipment to work autonomously and use your on-farm help to do more important, more difficult tasks. And then there's also spray drones. You have crop sensing drones to be able to inspect your fields. And then there's also large language models. So say you're just having an issue with your tractor, you can put these systems can be trained on a manual so that you can go and ask the question, what do I need to do if I'm having this issue with my piece of equipment? And it can give you an answer. So a lot of stuff's being done like with that. So it's not just vision systems, but it's also language models as well.
Can you see any, this kind of might be a out there question, but do you see anything that might surprise us coming up here in the terms of AI in the next 5 years, something that probably no one's really thought of yet?
I'm sure there is. I don't know if I can give you an answer on that. That's something I know. But there's always work being done, and this is a big topic right now.
Perfect. So, and to follow up before we ask some or have the audience ask some questions, what's one thing you want the audience to take away from this talk if they can't take away anything else?
That it's the systems are already here. This isn't something that's going to be in the future. This is something that you can go see across the street. There are self-driving tractors. There are the See and Spray system that is detecting weeds and spraying them in fields in real time. This isn't something in the future. This is now. So it's only going to get better. The stuff might not work perfectly at this point, but it's only going to get better.
Perfect. All right, now we're going to open it up to you guys, the audience. Do you guys have any questions relating to artificial intelligence with farming? Yeah.
You mentioned autonomous, and I've heard that interchanged with AI. Is it the same, or are there key differences?
It's different. So AI is a system that is going to be thinking and telling a mechanical system what to do. So autonomy is going to be the system actually doing the work, but AI is the brains behind that. It's going to be telling it what to do.
Yeah.
As far as I don't know if I follow your question.
It's like there's going to be a standardization based on this and I already really we're going to have all of our machine learning algorithms. Do you think there's going to be something that takes the
I think it depends on the application. It depends on. I know there's going to be they're going to come out with standards for everything, but I think it's still new that the research is being done to actually like broaden it at this point, not just to narrow it down. So I don't know if those are going to be there so soon. I know safety stuff is already being put in place, like you can't go over a certain speed in California. Those are the standards I see, like as far as safety, but maybe not so far as what sensors to use, because you definitely want a broader horizon. You want the technology to grow before you reduce it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Any other questions for Chris? Yeah, right here.
So a lot of research being done. Not using AI while there's still a lot of research.
I mean, there are always risks to everything we do, but I think if the right, if you trust the people that are doing it, and I think that's one important thing, you want to know who's actually programming the stuff. You want to know that they are the ones that, like, that's why I guess going back to what is Ohio State doing, you want to know that going back to who's training these, that they're going to be reliable sources and that it's going to be done safely.
Yeah, right over here.
That's the question from offline into a server, right? There's no like system in it.
Not currently. There's like cloud computing is what you're talking about, but there's also edge computing, so you can do stuff just on a computer without it being online.
Okay, so my question is, most that can break down data that's really big.
Right.
So if those servers are down, say it down, that triples a farm. All the equipment that you bought, what do you do in that?
So that definitely is a big challenge in agriculture. I mean, if you're looking at cloud computing in a farm, most farm settings, most good communication is not done in rural areas. And so that's something that's being worked on. And we have on this farm, there's wireless network systems that you're basically connected on your farm rather than from Verizon or from AT&T. So that's a big part of it. If the servers themselves are down, usually they have multiple servers across the nation. So if one server system's down, it should be able to pick up another one, be able to work.
Okay, do you believe that most systems should have a
Oh yeah, of course. I would say all of them should have a dummy switch where you flip it and you can drive it mechanical.
Any other questions for Chris? Yeah, right over here.
And you're talking about like brain applications.
Yep.
Can the model network together if we're trying to track like poison hemlock, or we talk about pesticides, if we got like little bit hardy invasives that we're trying to track about the region, but model network.
So there are models that do that now. They're a mixture of experts models. So they basically pick a general question and then send it to a node that will be able to compute it based off of if it's the best model for that instance. So it generally categorizes it. Maybe this is this one issue, and then there's something else in the same field that says it's this other issue, and they use two different models to predict the best outcome.
Yeah.
So on follow up on that, say his farm and my farm, we network together and see a pattern.
You probably could do that. I know a lot of people don't really want to share their data. So that's probably the limiting factor at this point, to be able to share data across farms is still private data whenever you are on your own farm. So maybe you don't want to share that. And that should, I would say, make sure that that's a thing too, because I know a lot of people, you want to keep your information to yourself, and who uses it is known to you as well.
Yeah, right over here.
But the prices of the tractors, would they not increase if you added all the AI technology, because it would need the computing systems, the ability to process, and the ability to run?
Yeah.
Would that not in turn affect the smaller farms that need the tractor? If those are the only tractors on the market, then wouldn't that screw over the smaller guys?
So there's, I guess, a couple of questions there. For the first thing, yes, it all increases it. The best example that's something on the market right now is the seeding spray. So their equipment definitely goes up, base price for the machine, but then they also charge a fee for you actually using it per acre. So if you're using their seed spray system, there's another, I guess you could say, hidden cost there that when you're using it. But then as far as, hopefully there's enough diversity and people, as long as there's people that need equipment, you should still have base price equipment. You should still have stuff out there for other farmers, small farmers that can't afford the higher price equipment. There's that now. I mean, you can just see everything around. Some of it's really high end, some of it's base equipment. So
Yeah, back here.
Thank you. For you information that is such a John Deere.
I can't hear your question.
Then trainers are in John Deere and
I guess that's going back to something I mentioned. You want to know who is training these models. You want to make sure, I know this is something my advisor always says, you want to make sure like if it's something based out of Ohio, you want Ann Dorrance to be something for soybeans. You want her to be saying, this is the right way, this is the input, this is the output, and somebody to verify that that's actually the outcome. And so you want to make sure that whoever's creating the models is somebody that has an influence in your area. I would say again, you knowing that whoever is creating the model is somebody that you know, somebody, an extension worker that comes out to your field and actually they will talk to you. If you're just trusting somebody who's on the other side of the world, that is a little bit difficult.
Any other questions for Chris? All right, well, let's thank Chris for being here today.
Thanks for listening today.
For more information about farm management tips, be sure to check out the farm office at farmoffice.osu.edu.
Hey, podcasters, do you like what you're hearing? Be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when our episodes go live. Share us with your friends, your neighbors, maybe even that third cousin on Facebook that you haven't talked to for years. Let Bruce and I know what you think, maybe even future topics by writing us a review. With that, we'll see you next time.